Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. It is indeed showtime. You are very, very welcome to day one of the EXSE exhibition conference, the only exhibition and conference that I imagine you can attend in your slippers. Hi, David. Good morning to you, sir. How are you doing?
Good morning, Nick. I'm doing very well. How exciting. The official EXSE Business Breakfast Show is here. And wow, we've got such an exciting lineup this morning. We'll be welcoming our first guest in a very short while. But Nick, 3 days of business excitement in the east to southeast. But let's be realistic, because this is a virtual event. This is streaming all over the world. So if you're sitting in, maybe you're over in the US and you'll be probably sitting in your underpants at this particular time because it will be early hours of the morning. Maybe you're sitting over somewhere in the east and it's coming up to lunchtime or late afternoon for you. But welcome wherever you're joining us from. If you're here in Essex, if you're here in the United Kingdom, if you're here in Europe or further afield, good morning and thank you for joining myself and Nick Luby.
Really excited, David. We've got lots of people coming on the show. Lovely opportunity to speak to sponsors, exhibitors, some of our speakers, some of the people behind the show, the organisation, the technology. I can see we're streaming live on the EXSE platform. It looks really cool, very exciting, and as many as possible, I will give lots of shout outs to our lovely list of exhibitors. Quite a crowded exhibition hall there. I've had a quick look. Looks really cool. Look forward to exploring in more depth.
Yeah, it's looking busy in there already, really packed out, lots of action already taking place, and the doors are only officially opened a few moments ago. So it's great that so many people are up, lively, and having a look around. Nick, you've got that list. Just give us a couple of random shout-outs on that list. Who's there this morning? Who's going to be there for the next 3 days?
Well, we've got Footprint Digital. We've got Farley Hospice. We've got the FSB, one of our lovely sponsors. We've got Gold Sales. We have Business Time in Essex, the best growth hub, of course, have got a stand. Colchester Borough Council are here, Cyberscale, Doris Jones, Essex AV, Essex County Council, EXSE, of course, are there. Excalibur Screwbolts Limited, lots and lots to visit, lots of stuff to find out. For sure. And that's the beauty of the platform, right? It's one of those kind of environments where there's something for everyone, okay? And there's loads of talks, loads of discussions, loads of exhibitors, and it's not as though you've got to block 3 days out and lose 3 days of work. You can dip in, dip out, you know, go and have a sandwich, come back, and just kind of use the schedule according to one that fits with you.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And what I think is really interesting here as well to kind of really put out there, if you are watching this on one of the Facebook channels that we're streaming out to or the YouTube channels, and you haven't registered for EXSE, and you're thinking, what's all this about? You know, what is EXSE all about? How do I come along, be part of it? If you go to exse.co.uk, that's EXSE.co.uk, you can sign up. You can still sign up now, get yourself a guest pass and come along and find out what it's all about. Do some business networking. The Federation of Small Businesses are sponsoring the World Cafe. Go out there and visit some of the innovation hubs. There's so much going on. It's going to be a fantastic 3 days.
Certainly is. Note to myself, David, I've got the live feed in the auditorium on one screen. I've got our feed on another screen. I've got to stop looking at the other feed because they're running in different times. And there's two versions of me. You know, one is normally enough, but I can see two of me. And it's a little bit overwhelming at this time in the morning.
Absolutely. Now, remember, if you're tuning into this, we are here Tuesday, Wednesday and Thursday, 9:30 till 10:30, and we're here talking to so many great guests. And I suppose, Nick, what we should do is welcome one of the people who's actually made this happen, has been pivotal to creating this event. And it would only be fair to probably give him some good value FaceTime to tell us a little bit more about the event and what's coming up over the next 3 days. So I'd like to welcome into our virtual studio this morning, Johnny Burkett. Good morning, Johnny, and welcome to the show.
Hi, David. Hi, Nick. How you doing?
Very well. How are you? as the nerves calm down a little bit, I know we spoke yesterday, and there's obviously so much going on this morning. There's an element of hope everything's going to go right. How are you feeling now?
We're like swans, looking calm, but the feet are paddling underneath. I can honestly guarantee that. But the team have worked so hard. It's such a different experience, really. So, but there's still the little bit of nerves. There's still the excitement. There's still the running around, with virtual sticky tape and blue tack this time, just to make sure everything goes well. But it's just shaping up to be such an amazing, event, really. We're really, really excited. So it's great.
How did this come about, Johnny? So is it something typical? You put on events every year, and then this year it called for something very, very different. How did this, the seed was sown?
I think you're spot on, Nick. It was we've held a regular, really well attended event every year, which was the best show. So we get all the grant and business support provider and businesses in one room. We get some great speakers, and then for one day we just try and help as many businesses as we possibly could. And I think we always had an ambition to expand that offer, but obviously COVID occurred. And we sat there, and I think like many businesses and many of the businesses that we support, you've got a choice, haven't you? You either kind of duck down, or you say, right, how can we kind of see this as an opportunity, to do something different, to pivot and adapt, and that's where EXSE came about, really. And we've been very fortunate to kind of partner up with Events and Chuff, the marketing agency initially, in terms of making the concept something that was workable. And I think there was a point, I would say, probably summer, where it changed from being, in our minds, from we've shifted to something different because we've had to actually, this is really, really exciting, and this actually could be the future of events and festivals of this nature. But every thing we've done has been completely different. You can't just rely on the old ways of doing things. We've had to find different ways, and there's 2 or 3 members of our team, and particularly the younger members of our team, who are absolutely wizards with technology, and we've just been leaning so heavily on their, just because natural ability, they've really come to the forefront. Everything from our apprentices to Hannah and Kate and Adele have been amazing. So I've learned things as well, but it's been great.
And Johnny, you're the lead for the Best Essex Growth Hub, and I suppose it's really useful to explain a little bit more about what the Growth Hub does and how it's supporting and helping businesses throughout the county and beyond as well.
I think, I joined the Growth Hub as a lead over a year ago now. It does feel about 5 years, because the last year or so, I think, put a lot on everybody. But the growth hubs across the country are amazing mechanisms, really, interfaces, and their sole purpose is to offer free business advice, high quality business advice as well, and impartial advice for any business for us, Essex, who are looking to scale up, who are looking to adapt, who are looking to start up, change, and if they're looking for some kind of either financial boost, grant, loan. It's a one-stop shop, and I know that word is overused, but genuinely, it's a one-stop shop for any business to come. And for us, it's kind of like we build relationships, and it's a wonderful job, really, because you see sometimes businesses that have just started out, and you get to stay with them as they grow and they change and they come back for something different. And in the same way, some of these bigger organizations, and it can be very, very lonely, as you guys know specifically, sometimes running your own business. And actually, that was my background. I'm an economic development specialist, and I've run a number of my own businesses in the past. And it's nice, I wish I had known about the Growth Hub, or it had existed 10 years ago, so I'd have somebody to go to, talk to, and and help me along the way. So in the last year as well, we've been really at the forefront of maintaining jobs, helping people pivot and adapt. And we're a very resourceful and entrepreneurial county. And that's come through, and we're very, very focused on working together. So it's been a challenge, but it's been a pleasure. But that's the Growth Hub. Come to us. We'll do whatever we can to help your business succeed, change, adapt, and grow. That's what we're here for.
Must have been a phenomenal 12 months, Johnny, just, you know, seeing the start of this, you know, a year and a bit ago, I think I imagine the growth hub probably think, right, hold on to your hats. We thought it was pretty busy before, you know, March last year. It must have been a hell of a year for you and the team. How many inquiries, you know, flooding in saying, okay, you're here to help. What do I do now?
Yeah.
You know, it must have been phenomenal for everybody.
It was, again, I think we're all going to look back on this time and think to ourselves, you know, what did we do to help? What did we do? And I think, yeah, okay, it is a job, but every single one of my team are there because they're passionate about helping business in the area. You know, they constantly go above and beyond, as we've seen with the event, we've seen with other things. And, you know, I couldn't be prouder, really. But I think none of us knew what was going to happen. And I think that first lockdown period where, I mean, let's be honest, there was a lot of businesses that were panicking. It was clear that, you know, central government, although may have been trying to do their best, were, you know, they were unsure on what the right strategy was. And I think we went from probably helping 15 to 20% of the business community across the county to actually trying to help 80 to 90%. You know, and it was also the people helping the businesses as well. So, I mean, we were doing daily briefings out to, you know, economic development departments, big companies, you know, trying to steady the ship. We were gathering intel left, right, and centre, as well as kind of, you know, being flooded with, you know, businesses of all scale and size just looking for genuine help. You know, and it was long hours and it was a lot of work. But again, it did feel like you were making a difference. And, you know, it was nice, I would say, 5 or 6 months in, where we started to see those businesses that had actually found opportunity. They'd actually seen it and said, well, what can we do? How can we change? You know, I mean, we genuinely thought at the beginning of last year, the thing we would be tackling was the EU transition and Brexit. And so we were prepped for that. I don't think we ever conceived this was going to be the main thing. That pushed that right down to the priority list, really. But yeah, it's been you know, we've lived in interesting times this last year. That's the best way to say it, I think.
I think you're exactly right there. It has been interesting times, you know, with the fuel of Brexit and obviously the pandemic, and you know, some businesses are being pulled through, you know, some tough times. There has been, and hopefully the good times are there in front of us, and things are going to start to transition around, and the economy is going to grow, and it's going to become stronger, and business will return to some sort of normality. And you know, we're days away from the next phase of kind of our lockdown roadmap, and kind of coming back to fruition. I take it you've been given lots of support over the last 12 months. I can imagine you've been inundated with, you know, calls for help and support.
Yeah, I mean, looking ahead, it's been an emotional ride for a lot of businesses, you know. And again, you know, the team have been half business advisor, you know, kind of, you know, half, you know, counsellor to a certain extent, you know. But people are incredibly resourceful and resilient, you know. And it's hard for us when we find somebody struggling. We'll do everything we can to help. But there has been a lot of adaptation, and I think looking ahead now, there has been some, you know, some positive consequences of something like this. And I think one is that, you know, local government and central government have really got some very strong mechanisms now for directly supporting businesses in different sectors. You know, and I don't think they had that before, if I'm honest. You know, they would nibble around the edges, or they didn't have the resources to build that in, and that infrastructure is now there. And in the same way, more businesses than ever before have realized there's a huge amount of support, quality support out there, and there is funding, and there are grants, and there are ways, you know. And you know, probably for us, the most common theme that we see with a business when we go in to support them, either at a scale-up adaptation or peer-to-peer program or whatever we do, is we say, okay, give us your business plan. And I would say 9 out of 10 say we haven't got a business plan. Because they're doers, they want to get in, they want to make it happen. They're passionate and excited about their service or their product, you know. But actually sitting back and navel gazing a little bit and looking about where the business is going is, you know, they don't have time to do that. And I think the pandemic for a lot of businesses has given them the opportunity to sit there and say, hey, why am I doing this? You know, what's the most important person? How can my business change? What do I want out of it? Who is my customer base? And I think the next year or 2 years, yeah, there's going to be challenges. We understand that, you know, economically and in terms of businesses, but people are changing. I mean, look at the festival, look at EXSE, you know, and look at how we're working and the level of connections and, you know, how we've embraced technology in terms of helping our businesses through, so, yeah, it is a challenge. We can't ignore that, but there are always opportunities. And, I'm really excited for the next year or 2 years to see what comes out of it personally.
It's certainly a fascinating time, and most businesses have kind of over the last 12 months have evolved, if nothing else. I can appreciate it, tough, but definitely a time of evolution. Now, Johnny, you're joining us every day on the breakfast show, aren't you? You're coming back a bit later. You're going to disappear. You've got a chance to look around the hall, see how the tech's working, how all the stands are going. Be really interested to see what you've seen and how it's all going when you come back and join us a bit later on. But we've got a packed schedule this morning, haven't we, David? So, Johnny, thank you very much indeed for kicking us off, setting us on the right road, and we look forward to seeing you coming back on before the end of the show to let's say formally cut the ribbon of this year's exhibition. Thank you very much, Johnny.
Thank you, John. See you soon.
See you. Bye.
Bye. Well, Nick, shall we bring our next guest in? Because as you say, we've got action packed, and we're going to be rolling one after another this morning. It's going to be non-stop until 10:30. So without any further ado, let's welcome into our studio our next guest this morning, Emma McNally. Good morning, Emma. Hello. Oh, looking very bright and dapper there, Emma. Oh, you're muted. We can't hear you, Emma.
Is that better?
Quite an echo.
It's echoey. Technology. How's that?
We can manage. That's good enough. I think we'll get away with that.
Is that okay? Can you hear me?
Oh, perfect. Now it sounds good.
Cool.
Now you sound good and look good. Perfect. Great combination. Welcome, Emma, into the studio. Great to see you again. We've met a few times in the past now, so it's great to see you on this lovely sunshine morning. Tell us a little bit more about Emma. You're here as an exhibitor. So you're here for the 3 days at the show. Tell us a little bit more about what Emma does and your business.
Absolutely. Yeah, so the company is called Achieve Your Greatness, and we're a neuro-linguistic programming training company. So that's all about performance psychology and understanding how to get the best out of yourself as well as the people that you work with. So yeah, it's a really exciting and interesting field because it's all about psychology. And we run courses from 2-hour tasters right the way through to business courses, to the psychology of success within business, master practitioner courses, and everything else in between. So yeah, so very excited to be exhibiting the next 3 days. It's going to be awesome. Whole new experience.
Yeah, what particularly are you looking forward to, Emma, out of the exhibition? I imagine it's not your first exhibition, but possibly your first virtual one.
First virtual one, and I think that's a whole new world, isn't it? It's like you see your booth with your pop-up and everything, and it's really bizarre. It's really funny. So yes. So what I'm really looking forward to is some of the keynote speakers look amazing. So I love to attend keynote speaking like events, so to learn basically, because we're all about learning. And as I say, the day I say I know everything is a day I know nothing. So for me, education, learning, we're a training company, of course, it's my thing. So yeah, really looking forward to that. I am looking forward to meeting people because people can pop into the booths and have live chat with me, and it's going to be great, right? Apparently I've got my own doorbell. How exciting is that?
Do you know what it sounds like yet? Have you pressed it to see what the chime? Oh, that's going to be a worry. There'll be noise going off, and you'll be looking around like, "Who's that?"
I'll be running down to the front door every 10 minutes.
It'll be a delivery for you from a local business owner, of course. That's the more important thing. So you're going to be around for the next few days. We will make sure when we're free from the show this morning at 10:30, we'll come and find you on your stand. We'll ring your doorbell, and we can have a chat with you as well, and that would be fantastic.
Awesome.
And Emma, as always, an absolute pleasure to see you here this morning. We will catch up, and we'll get to find out more about what you do as well. But
yeah,
thank you
absolutely brilliant. Thank you so much. Have a great morning. See you later.
Thanks, Emma.
Bye.
Thanks, Emma. So that's a great start, David. For sure, go and see Emma at Achieve Your Greatness. Ring the doorbell and have a chat. Or there's video conference, there's audio conference options. It was great. They're great. How exciting is the world of exhibitions these days?
Yeah, no, absolutely. And, you know, virtual is different. I know for some, this is going to be their first time. They're going to, you know, I was going to use a word. I've got to be careful here. They're going to, you know, take the opportunity to try something new that they've never tried before. And that's such an exciting way to be. And of course, is this the future of expos as well? I know people are desperate to get back out there and have the opportunity to meet, greet, and as of next Monday, we can start hugging and kissing. And talking of hugging and kissing, sitting in the back, in our back green room studio here, is a lovely lady. And she's always talking about hugs and kisses. I've met her face to face a number of times in the past. We both know her very well. Let's get her on. Let's have a chat with Glenys Chatterley. Good morning, Glenys from EBN.
Morning, my lovelies. How are you doing?
Very good, thank you, Glenys. Great to see you.
Yeah, it's good, isn't it? Yes, I got all excited when it said about hugging, and I thought, ooh, I can do it right now. And then I realised it's not till next Monday. So woe betide whoever I meet first in the street next Monday.
With caution, hug with caution, I think.
Yeah, well, I'm short, so if I hug, I'm actually in people's chest, so I'm not going near their faces at all, and they're breathing over the top of me.
Brilliant, brilliant.
Glenys, you're here. Well, you're here in the virtual studio, of course. Effective business networking. I know you've been, you know, a networking pro for many years, and we've come across and met many times in the past in real world, touchy-feely scenarios as well. We've had hugs and kisses and stuff like that, and I know you're missing that. But EBN, tell us a bit more about effective business networking, what it does, who it helps, and as an exhibitor here today, what people can come and find out about you today.
Okay, so for me, networking is a fundamental part of my marketing. Meeting people, getting to know them, helping each other. That's all for me part of business. So when I got the opportunity of owning EBN, Effective Business Network, I took it and I've grown it. Hot off the press, growth figures for last year, 8.8%. Which actually beats Tesco, which is not a bad thing. And my overheads are probably slightly less. So it's about people coming together, business people coming together to help and support each other. I think an important part is that we work under Chatham House rule, which says that what's said in the room cannot be attributed outside of the room. So you don't have to do that thing, which we all do at some point, which is put the face on, you know, the one that's, oh, it's all going terribly well. And you're thinking, oh, it's not. Well, because of the Chatham House rule, people feel able to share, which in these situations has been even more important. And one person said to me that she started to consider her group as her virtual bubble. It's that thing about helping each other. It's also about based on you don't have to be serious about business. So you can laugh, you can have fun, but we're business focused. And it's about helping each other. I can't know everything. I don't want to know some things. IT, me, not friends. But I know people who do that sort of stuff and apparently enjoy it. So it's about you getting on with what you do and getting people around you to help you with the things that they do well. And that's what EBN's based on. So we're groups of people who get together over breakfast to help and support each other. It is membership. We have 14 groups at the moment, predominantly in Essex, but next month we open in West Sussex, Kent and East London. So all very exciting, really.
It's a fantastic success story. And Glenys, I've known you some time, and you and I have networked a lot, and massively appreciate the power in your network, especially if it's one that's supportive and friendly, and you know you can be authentic, you can be yourself in the group.
Yeah, and it's about people, I think sometimes are a bit nervous about the you don't have to be serious bit because they think we're all giddy goats. Well, occasionally we are, but most of business is not. But you don't have to be, that person that we all know that takes everything terribly serious. Well, yes, that's great for them. Doesn't work for us. And not everybody is for EBN, and EBN is not for everybody. It's people who get that slow burn, that getting to know people, that building relationships, so that I feel able to put you in front of my best customer and know that my reputation is going to be maintained.
Yeah. Glynis, as always, it's been such a pleasure to have you here this morning. I hope you enjoy the show over the next 3 days. We will come and find you, Glynis. We'll come and ring your doorbell as well, and we'll have a virtual hug until next week. So, Glynis, thank you very much for joining us this morning.
Bye, everyone. Have fun.
Thanks,
Bye.
Glynis. So
Well,
definitely go and see Glynis on the EBN stand, doing better than Tesco's. Not bad, eh?
Absolutely. Nick, let's keep rattling through this. We've got a lot of people queuing up in the virtual studio. The next person we're going to welcome is a FSB partner. They work alongside the FSB as a service provider and offer the opportunities, look at funding opportunities. Let's welcome Alba Cadnas. Hopefully I've got that right there, Alba, with your surname pronunciation.
Yes, you did, David. Hi, David. Hi, Nick. Good morning.
Hi, Alba.
Good morning. Welcome. Hopefully you're already getting a chance to have a look around the expo. Very early doors at the moment. It's only just begun. Exciting day lined up, and certainly a couple more days ahead, which are going to be great fun. And hopefully you're going to be speaking to lots of businesses that are looking for funding. So tell us a little bit more about FinPoint and what you can do to help business owners.
So basically, FinPoint is a partner and we deliver the FSB funding platform. And basically, we help members to get access to finance. So it's really a straightforward system. We base in technology and this human touch and this impartial advice, especially in finance, that many businesses need these days. So we can help all type of companies thanks to our technology and our partner relationship with lenders. We can help startups, limited company, partnership companies, any type, sole traded. We got options for everybody into the platform. So basically is FSB members coming to us, fill a form is going to take them 5 minutes, let us know what they need, what is the company situation, and then our technology plus our expertise, like we got a finance expert team back, a part of that, will match all the opportunities and will let them know these are your options for your particular case. So really straightforward, all thanks to the technology. And even though if any situation we can help, we always advise them, pointing them in the right direction. So yeah, if any businesses is looking for funding these days, come to us and we'll be really happy to advise or support. We, a part of FSB, we also work with many Grow Hub labs. So we try to give this technology to use to everybody, basically.
That sounds great. Especially, I can imagine a lot of businesses have been kind of sitting tight, waiting for a bit of light at the end of the tunnel, which we can now see. So I imagine now is a busy time, Alba, for
it is.
We need some money.
I'm glad you mentioned, Nick, because it's quite interesting. For a year, we will talk about coronavirus loans, but in last few months, everything is starting to change. So now it's more growth finance. People they just need a little bit of support now to be ready for the summer, or just to pop up by the season, or just to keep going a little bit more, or even some businesses, they did well during this pandemic and they just need money to grow. So it's quite challenging to see these changes now. So yeah, it's what we do. As I said, we got traditional lenders option in the panel, but we also work with different kind of providers. So give us the chance to really advise and pointing the businesses in the right business finance they will need for their own particular case. It's all anonymous, we don't do any credit check or anything like that. It's all up to the business to be in control and choose where they want, and it's their decision in the end of the day.
Yeah. Great. So what I'm sure you're going to have lots of businesses coming to have a chat with you to learn more and find out more. So if you're interested in speaking to Alba and finding out about the FSB funding platform and how Alba can help you find the right lender and organize everything for you in a simple step process, do go along and visit Alba. Alba, thank you very much for joining us this morning. Been a pleasure to have you here, and we will come and find you and ring your doorbell later on as well.
Perfect. Thank you. Bye, guys.
Thank you,
you.
Albert.
Bye.
Great. And from the FSB, excellent support for business, David. You know, a key sponsor of the event. And one of the big questions, if you're not a member of the FSB, is how do I become a member? What is this FSB? It sounds great. We should speak to someone who knows all about membership.
I just have the person. Mr. Jeremy Reeve from the Federation of Small Businesses is here in our studio. Good morning, Jeremy.
Good morning, gentlemen. How are you both? Really glad to be here today. Thank you for having me on.
Yeah, no, thank you for joining us, Jeremy. Now, you're one of the membership advisors for the Federation of Small Businesses, covering part of the Essex area as well. And I know you reach out into Cambridgeshire and stuff. But tell us a little bit more about your role at the FSB, who the FSB are, because there's pretty people here who are FSB. Is that the Russian Federation? Or, who is the FSB? So, Jeremy, who are the FSB?
So the FSB have been around for 47 years. We were started back in 1972 by a group of businessmen in the north of England who were upset that they didn't have a collective voice and that they were pretty isolated on their own and no one listened to them. Fast forward 47 years, people listen to us. We've got a huge group, over 150,000 members across every industry you can imagine across the UK, all with one theme, that they want to have a collective voice. They don't want to get pushed taxes. They don't want to have red tape that the government push on the small business. They want a collective voice, as I mentioned. Now, obviously, what's in it for businesses, because it's all very well being noble, being part of a big voice and lobbying for change, but what's in it for me as a small business? And quite frankly, there's lots. And as Nick said, if you haven't joined the FSB, you should absolutely look at it, because some of the things our members enjoy are things like free tax investigation protection insurance, which is included in our standard membership for everybody. Now, on the 3rd of March, the Chancellor, as you probably recall, announced that there's going to be over 1,000 new tax investigators on the road, and they're going to be looking at businesses that have claimed furlough, claimed the bounce back loan and some of the grants available by local authorities. And if they knock on your door randomly, you know, it's a bit like getting picked out for the National Lottery. You might be lucky, but in this case, unlucky. At least we've got coverage where we will pay your accountant to help you deal with the problem. Another huge benefit is our legal protection scheme, which is where you get access to a business lawyer when you need it. There's over 1,000 different documents on our website of the things like terms and conditions for websites, privacy policy, GDPR policy. It reminds me of this really funny story, Guy, that I saw about 2 weeks ago. A member said to me, look, I've been caught out. I bought these terms and conditions from our web designer. He put them on. I've only just checked them, and it says that it's governed by law in Australia. I'm in Romford, what's going on? And it's just a typical thing. You've got access to the right documents when you need it. We just heard from the funding platform. Again, it's the sort of thing the FSB do. We can help you with your insurance. We can help you with your credit card processing. We can help you with your business banking. But really, to summarize, I describe it as we wrap you in cotton wool for when things go wrong. We're here to protect you. We're here to look after you, guide and mentor you. But also we're here for when things go right. And we have loads of fun.
Fun sounds great. Fun and support, Jeremy. You've already rattled off a load of benefits. I'm doing some calculations in my head, thinking, okay, yeah, well, if I went and bought that service, it would be this much. That service, this much. It's a mass of value.
It is. It's a no-brainer. The costs are relatively low. We're a not-for-profit organisation. Costs start from a one-man band for £147 a year, not a month, a year, and that rises depending on how many employees you have. But as I always say to businesses with employees at the moment, one of the other huge benefits of the FSB is our HR protection scheme. So access to all the HR documents you need. But this is the key to it. If you end up at a tribunal because something's gone wrong, and let's be honest, things go wrong in business, it happens, we will not only represent you at the court, at the tribunal. If you lose, we'll pay the compensatory award up to 100 grand. So that is a huge benefit. It's just insurance. Why wouldn't you have it? Now, how many of your viewers are thinking, I wish I'd have sorted out my business interruption insurance last year? We've all had these conversations with businesses because they're now trying to bolt the stable door off. The horse is bolted. Jump in quick, get covered with the FSB, because all the additional benefits you get will really help. And as small businesses, that one benefit alone could save you a fortune, yet all the other benefits that we've got.
Yeah, the benefits go on and on and on, and we don't have enough time to talk about them all. But of course, we can come along, have a direct conversation with you, come and visit the stand, and find out more about the FSB and the benefits that sit there in that toolbox. Just one last thing, Jeremy, we've got about 30 seconds. Are you still offering? There's some free membership available in the Chelmsford area, or is that all gone now?
No, there is. There's still a bunch of memberships left, thanks to Chelmsford City Council, who have worked with the FSB to fully subsidise the cost of a year's membership. So if you're a business in Chelmsford or one of the villages close by, you could qualify for free membership. As long as you've got less than 10 employees and you're in that Chelmsford area, you will be able to get free membership. So yeah, absolutely come and have a chat about that if you're in one of the CM postcodes.
Brilliant. And if not, still kind of have a chat, because it's less than a cup of coffee per day, and the benefits you get are huge. And I'm going to declare an interest here, because I am the chair for the FSB for the East of England. So I work alongside Jeremy and many other great representatives in the team as well. So, but do go and see Jeremy. He will be able to absolutely put you in the right direction and get you signed up virtually as well. We don't even need to come to your front door anymore.
Absolutely. Rob and I will be on the stand. We're looking forward to seeing lots of people
Rob
around the event.
Rob Badger's on the show tomorrow. So Rob's going to be talking, like Jeremy, as a membership advisor, giving us some more top tips. Jeremy, thank you very much for joining us today. It's been a pleasure having you here. We'll come and find you later on.
Lovely. Thanks, David. Thanks, Nick. See you soon.
Thanks, Jeremy.
Cheers. Well, there we go, Nick. It's been a quick, fast-paced morning. Lots of people coming and going. And we've got ourselves a bit of a breather at this point while we wait for our next guest to arrive in the green room to get them onto stage. So hopefully we'll be seeing them very, very shortly. Jeremy was talking about, obviously, supporting businesses. And there's lots of great organisations out there. We're talking about the FSB. They are one of the headline sponsors for the EXSE Expo over the next few days. Very pivotal throughout Essex and the surrounding counties, but throughout the UK as well. And businesses have been 170,000 members, something like that, as Jeremy just explained. But there's others out there. Let's just be fair to them. There's the Chamber of Commerce, there's the Institute of Directors, which are always worth looking at, and looking at the benefits that they offer as well. But your experience of business organisations, Nick, I know you've been a speaker at various different events around the country, around Europe.
Just one of the things that just warms me, mate, that there's so much support. There's so many great people out there who are more than happy to share what they know. Organisations like the FSB. I've been to meetings, I've spoke at the meetings, and groups of people who don't come from a position of scarcity. They come from a position of, there's plenty to go around. So I'm happy to share my experience, my knowledge. Same with the other organisations. Business gets a bad name, right? As though it's cutthroat and everyone's just out for themselves and all in it for the money. Not my experience. My experience tells me business is lovely. Right? People are generally lovely, and without a doubt, you can go to every single exhibition stand over the next 3 days and have some really healthy, valuable conversations. And I need to mention our other sponsors, Event Zoo, one of the great sponsors, of course, the technology behind the exhibition, the auditorium, the lobby experience, and all of the kind of the speaker and discussion events. University of Essex, one of the sponsors I see on the list. Fantastic to have them on board as well. It's a really, really exciting event. And I'm a face-to-face, human-centric communication guy. I'm really excited.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Yeah, and thank you to those sponsors, because without those sponsors, these type of events wouldn't be possible. We do have Mark joining us in the studio on Thursday morning on the breakfast show from Event Zoo. So he'll be talking more about the platform and how that all operates, and being the engine, so to speak, making sure everything's functioning and running at the event. So all our exhibitors, sponsors, and delegates and speakers, of course, are here in one place and united together. Okay, Nick, you had the list of who's exhibiting. Did we get through everybody on that list? Can we give a few more shout outs?
Loads on the list, mate. Loads. We got 3D Feeler Print Limited, ACL Essex, a DC Fleet Solutions. If I'm not pronouncing these right, just come back to me on the show and tell me off. Advanced 3D Laser Solutions Limited, Anglia Ruskin University. Lovely to see them here. Ascend Broking, Azuro Marketing, Basildon Council, Best Growth Hub, of course, Braintree District Council, and Business Time in Essex, to name but a few. I'll name some more shortly.
Fantastic. Right, let's move on. Let's bring our next guest onto the show. Someone I've met a number of times, but only recently we shared the same virtual networking group at an FSB meeting, actually. He came along and was one of our guest speakers, and boy, did he give us some things to think about. So hopefully he's going to do exactly the same today. Let's welcome Pat Smith onto the show. Good morning, Pat.
Good morning, and thank you very much, David and Nick, for the chance to join you.
Yeah,
Great
to have you on the show, Pat. So you're the Enterprise Support Alliance. Just tell us a little bit more about what the business does and how you're helping small businesses.
Yeah, great. Yeah. We're a small not-for-profit business. We are a registered enterprise agency, and we're also accredited by the Institute of Entrepreneurship and Enterprise to deliver training workshops as well. At this very moment in time, we're actually under contract to Southend Council and working with the Best Growth Hub in partnership to deliver a programme of free, let me emphasise free, training workshops for small and medium-sized businesses right across Essex. They're on topics that are in huge demand at the moment, particularly for businesses that are having to remodel how they're going about things post-COVID, with people working from home, having to work much more digitally. So we're offering programs on how to sell in a digital environment, stuff like that. And also we're doing one-to-one mentoring for businesses who don't just want to be part of a group sort of training session, but also want some one-to-one help. And a colleague of mine, Jenny, she's absolutely brilliant. She does what we would call in our jargon a diagnostic. What that means simply is that she talks with the business leader about their situation and gets a handle on the issues that they need to address. And we can then either deal with it through our training workshops and mentoring, but also, just as importantly, we will signpost off to other organisations who we know can deliver what they want. So you get far more from having a chat with Jenny and Mandy and colleagues than just finding out about training workshops and mentoring.
You mentioned free. Wow. Free training, free advice, free mentoring. We were just talking about how lovely business is. How fabulous that there's an organisation not far away that, we can come to your stand and we say, Pat, how do we get involved in this free training? Selling digitally, yes, please. How do I get on board?
Simple as that.
Whole thing you're offering, yeah?
Yeah, brilliant. Yeah. We're on the Southeast Business Boost. Bit of a mouthful. Southeast Business Boost stand, which is the name of the overall program of support. There's me, Anna, and Darren, who are going to be on there for the 3 days. We're really excited about talking to businesses about what they want to do and how they can access this support, because it's sometimes people say, if it's free, it can't be very good. Well, let me assure you, because it's free, it's only free because we're using some EU residual money to pay for the whole program. The trainers are experts in their field. There's a young one called Rosita who's been posting it on LinkedIn and all over the place for us, saying how great the trainer was, how knowledgeable, and how much she's got from it. But she's just one of many. So we've been piloting the workshops because obviously we've had to do them online, which has been new for us and for the delegates in many cases. So we've now got all the little wrinkles out. So we're absolutely good to go, you know. So we're really keen to speak to businesses and get them to take up the support. It's available for the next year, let me be clear. But clearly, you know, why wait?
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, it's like, well, you know, because people think, oh, well, yeah, okay, well, it's available for a year. I'll do it sometime. Well, there's never a sometime, is there? You know, just grab the bull by the horns and get on with it and come and have a chat with us.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Pat, it's been great having you here and finding out a little bit more about how you are going to be helping small businesses with free. We're going to put that in big speech marks. It's free. You want to find out more how you can access that funding, come along, have a chat with Pat on his stand. And the stand, just remind us, Pat, was called the...
Southeast Business Boost.
Southeast Business Boost. So, yeah, so go along and have a chat with Pat. Thank you, Pat. We'll come and find you later on around the virtual expo.
Brilliant. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Pat.
Well, there we go, Nick. It's good. Great. I mean, free, you know, and people do say there's no such thing as a free dinner and stuff like that. But of course there is. You know, there's lots of support out there, government agencies, you know, ERDF money from the, you know, previous relationship we had in place once upon a time, but it's still there and it's still being utilized and helping businesses from startups, from their ideas, just getting going through to more established organizations who need a little bit more help and guidance and direction. So great to hear from Pat and how that's working.
Brilliant. I don't know how we're supposed to make money, mate. You know, I charge for my workshops. Oh, how old-fashioned is that? Mate, I don't know. It's great. How much advice and value there is out there, and I mean, all in one hall as well.
I know, as you say, we charge for our business. That's why we turn to chat show hosts now. You know, we're putting something back for nothing in the hope that we can build our profiles up and have more conversations. And I suppose talking about the breakfast show, obviously we're back again tomorrow at 9:30 and also on Thursday as well. So we're doing an hour each morning while the EXSE show is running. But of course, we do run our own show as well, don't we, Nick?
We do indeed, yeah. Every Thursday morning, 8 until 9, business conversations, chat about the world, how everybody's doing. I've learned so much from everybody that's been on the show. So much value to be had. Really good fun as well. And there was even someone eating Weetabix and baked beans.
That was a fun show we did. So if you want to find out more about it's branded up Uni TV, which is the University of Enterprise and Entrepreneurs, and that's the show that Nick and I run on a Thursday morning, 8 till 9. Look us up, come and join us. You'll find us on LinkedIn, you'll find us on all social media platforms. Come and find me. I've got a stand here, Simbok Limited. Coming along and have a chat with myself. Nick and I will be there if you want to have a bit of a conversation about what we do and how we can help you as well. There's our shameless plug, Nick. There's got to be something in it for everybody, and I think that's kind of our plug done for this morning.
Yeah, I've had a look at your stand, mate. Looking good, looking slick, really nice. Really, what a great platform. Had a look. I'll be stopping by for a conversation. How about that?
You can come and ring my bell, Nick. Yes. No pun intended, obviously, with David Bell. Right. It's only good to really bring back Johnny Burkett. He was on the show at the beginning, got things going for us. But Johnny has been absolutely pivotal to this process, him and his team. Let's be very clear. It's all about teamwork and making these things happen. And there, you know, it was a task that laid ahead to get all the bits of the jigsaw together to put on such a such a great event, which is going to be running over the next 3 days. So let's bring Johnny back into the studio. He's been sitting backstage, listening into all our guests and kind of relaxing a little bit there, Johnny, but relaxation's over now. You're back live on the air. How was that for you, sitting backstage, listening in?
Oh, it's fantastic. It's like being like a World Cup pundit, you know, that's how it feels. I've actually been going around the exhibition hall and checking out people's stands, and it's brilliant. It's really, really, you've even got the crowd noise, so you do feel like you're part of it. It's fantastic. So yeah, it's great.
Yeah, very atmospheric from the lobby onwards. isn't it? You get a sense of the hustle and bustle of what a conference and an exhibition kind of feels like, which as a speaker, I've worked a lot of exhibitions in my time. There's something about that, when you walk into a hall, that kind of feeling. It's on the one hand a bit overwhelming. Look at all this stuff, and the other hand, say, wow, I'm in for a hell of a day. And doing it virtually, I can, as I said, can do it in my slippers.
Well, that's the benefit. I mean, I think the huge benefit for us when we looked at it was that, when you go to a conference or event, you're locked in then. It's a day or 2 days. And I think what we said was we need to keep people who are here for the 3 days. We're battling with emails, we're battling with clients, we're battling with that. So we had to make sure that there was a huge diverse range of speakers. There was something for everybody. You want to keep keep that interest constantly through the 3 days. But on the other side, we want to make sure that, if people do miss something, or that, they do have a work focus, which we completely understand, we absolutely support, they still can see that maybe later on in the week through the recorded sessions. So, we really tried to integrate the festival into people's working lives, in that last week before they can actually, if they want to, go back to the office full time and hug everybody in there in the office. So, I mean, we've got our first away day, which is actually in the office on Monday. That's the first.
Face-to-face events in the past. Some that run at Highlands House, and there was others that run around the county as well. But obviously this year was very different, or last year into this year was very different. So you had to go out there and find a platform and decide how it was going to do. So how did you do it? It's an interesting journey, at any time, but certainly during a pandemic, even tougher, I'm sure.
Yeah, there was a lot of research, and the guys at EXSE really kind of shone really, and we were very fortunate to work with a marketing agency called Chuffed in the early days, who kind of did a lot of the groundwork in trying to find the right platform for us. Because what we didn't want to do, we wanted to try and recreate that experience of the best show event that we've had, where there's a huge amount of good feeling, everybody's walking away from that gaining something from being part of it. And what we didn't want to do is just have one of those events where it's just 2 hours of people talking and talking and talking. We wanted that vibrancy and still trying to recreate that kind of family element. And that's really started the journey only 12 months ago. And then it was a journey, because we had to look at every single aspect of it and say, how are we going to make this work? Is it going to work? Is it going to suit the businesses we've got? Are people going to buy into it? And what we found is, yes, they are. Because, as an exhibitor, you can sit there, carry on with work, but then hear your doorbell, go and engage with a client. You can network, you can still communicate. The FSB have been fantastic with the World Cafe, which is the mechanism for seeing our master classes and workshops. But again, the great thing, it's not bite-sized, but the speakers are talking about stories. It's 20, 30 minutes. It's that TED Talk type, rather than, just being loads and loads of information, just like kind of in a matrix style pushed into your head. It's kind of more interactive. Workshops, rather than 2 or 3 hours, are kind of 40-minute intense masterclasses when people know what they're doing. We've got panels, round tables, so it's interactive. There's an open chat, so people can engage. If there's a problem, we can deal with it, quickly from our tech team who are awesome. Or if it's a business based question, they can go off into a side room and meet clients or meet partners and things. So, in this new brave world we're in, we're kind of really enthusiastic about this platform. But it is new for us, so we do expect 1 or 2 niggles along the way. I think people say don't work with kids and animals. I think technology is the third new entity in that, if I'm honest. But yeah, but so far so good. That's what I say. So far so good.
Yeah, it's looking great, and it's sounding great, and as you said, there's a list of things there. There's something for absolutely everyone, and I think everybody kind of comes to a conference and exhibition wanting different things, and it's great. It's all delivered in the one platform. I know straight after us, we've got James Berg as our keynote speaker in the auditorium. And we've got that full freedom. I'll listen to James, or maybe I'll go to the exhibition hall, and I'll just kind of interact with some of these many businesses in the hall. It's exciting stuff.
It is. I mean, the thing as well is that because it's a virtual platform, the opportunity in terms of speakers, people haven't had to commit 3 days or a full day to come in to speak for 45 minutes. And so we found that basically all over the world, really, we've got really high quality speakers. We've got Olympians. James, you just mentioned there, he's a pirate. But then we're placing Essex businesses and international businesses and speakers and experts all together. So we've leveled that playing field, and it's also given us the opportunity. We're not limited by size. We can have speakers running concurrently. We can have an exhibition hall that we unfortunately wouldn't have fit in Highlands, although Highlands is a wonderful venue, but we wouldn't have got all the guys in there. So it's really kind of brought it to a level, and the sky's the limit. And all being well, this is just the start. I'm not saying we won't be doing the physical events and conferences, because they're important and they're part of what we do. But there's no reason why our virtual suite of events can continue and grow. So yeah, it's a brave new world for us, really.
Yeah, absolutely. Now we've got, as you say, a great lineup of speakers. Obviously, that Olympian is Ben Hunt Davis. No, Ben, we've shared the same floor before, actually, when I've hosted some question time events, and Ben was on the panel. Will it make the boat go faster? I'm sure it absolutely will when Ben is on stage sharing his stories and motivating. But there's lots of great speakers, and the best way to really see what's happening is to look at the agenda, which is available when you log into the EXSE. You can go to the agenda and you can see all the speakers for each day, that what's coming, the roundtable events, everything that's kind of scheduled into the calendar appears there. So that's a really good way of kind of mapping out your diary, really, because as we said at the beginning, you can't be here for the full 3 days full on. It's probably too much to sit in front of a screen for 3 days solid, but you can drop in and drop out, and that's the benefit of a digital platform allowing people to do this. Now, Johnny, what we promised you, we said around about kind of coming up to hour, that we would give you, hand over to you to do the official cutting of the virtual ribbon and welcome everybody officially to EXSE 2021. So, Johnny, we're going to hand over to you for a few final words to our listeners and viewers.
Thank you, David, and thank you, Nick. And welcome to everyone. Thank you for joining us and being part of this journey. It is really exciting. So I'd like to formally say to everybody, hello world, this is EXSE and this is Essex. Enjoy. The virtual ribbon and festival is officially open. Thanks, guys.
Brilliant, Johnny. We're going to be back tomorrow morning from 9:30. Nick and I will be here in the live studio. Johnny will be joining us each day from around about 10:20, giving us updates on what's happening in that world. Nick, any more shout outs before we close for today? Who else is there? Who else is exhibiting? Any top speakers you like the fancy of?
Well, I think the schedule is just bursting with great stuff. So yeah, James Berg on next. We've got Sarah Brockwell coming up after that.
Great speaker.
And then we've got Carlo Giordani. Maybe I've pronounced that right, maybe I haven't. After that, brilliant. But masses of exhibitors in the hall. We've got Castle Point Borough Council, Cheeky Panda. I know they're speaking as well. Chelmsford Council, Chuffed, the marketing team that Johnny refers to, Climbing Trees, Colchester Borough Council, Creative Quills, Cyberscale, and lots more to be mentioned in the future shows.
Yeah, absolutely. And if you have been following the news around Essex, Rossi Ice Cream. Most of you have probably had a Rossi ice cream. Yes, James Sinclair, who's just purchased very recently Rossi Ice Cream, is joining us on the chat show on Thursday, and is also a keynote speaker here on Thursday as well. So there's a show you don't want to miss. We'll get James on here. We're going to be quizzing him. I've been following James, know James pretty well. I know you know him as well, Nick. And I've been following his journey, and he's bought a zoo and he's bought Rossi Ice Cream. James, you are smashing it at the moment. And it'd be really great to catch up. You can hear more about that journey. But that comes later this week. I think that's pretty much it from us, Nick, here today, and from Johnny as well. I hope everyone's going to enjoy the virtual show. Go out, go networking, go find out more about the businesses that are here, start creating those connections, joining up the dots. And don't forget to join us on the show tomorrow morning from 9:30 with myself, Nick, and John for the final wrap up from 10:15, 10:20. Thank you all and have a good and safe day.